of our mantra vibes, which we do it once in a month. So which basically transforms many people's life through connecting via the holy names of the Lord, right? So we take darshan of the Supreme Lord, Sri Jagannath, Baladev, and Subhadra, who is none other than Lord Krishna, Lord Balaram, the brother of Lord Krishna, and the sister Sri Subhadra. And then we also have his weapon, who is Sudarshan Chakra, on the right hand side of us, and the left hand side of Lord Jagannath. And we have Giri Govardhan, the Lord who lifted the hill called Govardhan Mountain. So now, before we start, always we have one thing in certain is prayers, because prayers works wonders, and we very strongly believe that by praying, by meditating, you are not only enabling yourself, you are enabling those families, those people whom you are dear to, or they are dear to you. So we take this opportunity to just pray and also appreciate that by God's grace, we are in the good space, in the private space of ours, that we are able to take this wonderful opportunity of 1 hour every day for the next 18 days, which is fundamentally like a sankalpa. So may I humbly request all of you to mute your audio so that it's audible for everyone and there is no distortion on the way on. Thank you. So this is the prayers which I'm going to pray now. You are most welcome to read through with me, and you can also continue to do so. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Gyananjanashalakaya Chakshur Unmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prashnaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamin Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pastyakta Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shivasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Right. Okay, so we start here with the understanding that this is Prabhupada's is that we will also ask everyone to continue to chant as much as you can whenever you get time. This is a presentation actually dedicated to the founder Acharya, His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, who is the ISKCON's founder, International Society for Krishna Consciousness. He actually started the spiritual path. I want to exit it. Yes, so that let me just take it through. So basically, Srila Prabhupada is our founder Acharya, founder spiritual master, who took us through the journey in the West. At the age of 69 years, he came to the United States. He presented the philosophy of Krishna consciousness, which is based on the books of Bhagavad-Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam. He took us through a fantastic journey, and he is the whole and soul inspiration behind all these great activities which has been done in this country, in this world, through the presentation of Krishna consciousness. So Srila Prabhupada also mentioned that it's very important for us to be connected with the Supreme Lord through his holy names. So we humbly request all of you to chant as much as you can. I'm just trying to share it, exit it out, and resharing it. Thank you. Okay, so there we are. So this is again, as I said before, this is dedicated to Srila Prabhupada, and we are here. This is a very, very important verse which actually speaks about the greatness of Srimad Bhagavad-Gita. We all know that Bhagavad-Gita, we have probably, some of you have had a copy of it, you still have it, and you can definitely, don't keep it as it is in your house. We would encourage you all to start reading, studying, and analyzing it every day. So Gita Mahatmya is a great inspiration for all of us who are readers of Bhagavad Gita, because it's the greatest book of wisdom. So Gita Mahatmya speaks It's basically an offshoot from Padma Purana spoken by Lord Shiva to Parvati. So the greatness of Gita is so strong that it's actually mentioned here, which is in front of you. And it is a direct perception of what the Supreme Lord's message to the entire mass of people is. Says Gita Shastra idam punyam ye patet prayatat pumam Vishnur padam avapnoti bhaya shokhadi vajitaha. One who with their regulated mind recites with devotion this Bhagavad Gita scripture, which is the bestower of all virtues, will attain to the holy abode of Vaikunta, the residence of Lord Vishnu. Vaikunta, Kunta is a place of no anxiety. That's what it means. Vaikunta is a place of no anxiety, because we stay in a place where anxiety is prevalent very strongly, which is always free from the mundane qualities based on fear and lamentation. This is natural for all of us. We have fear because we don't know the unknowns. We lament because we don't want to get what we want, and we are trying to seek what is not available to us. Right. So this is with the prayers by Lord Shiva to Parvati, who is the greatest of all the Vaishnavas. So he presents this in a very fantastic format called the Gita Mahatmya. Each of the chapters of Bhagavad Gita has a beautiful story associated with it, and each of the chapter also defines with the reason why Bhagavad Gita is designed into a wonderful book of knowledge. So these are great personalities whom have spoken about Bhagavad Gita, are connected to Bhagavad Gita in some way or the other. So that's just the prelude of why Bhagavad Gita started, why actually is rather who started it and what is it being written to us. Because most of the people generally in mass think that, okay, this is man-made literature, it's going to be something like that. It's not. This was spoken by Vyasadeva and was actually recorded by Lord Ganesh, son of goddess Parvati and Lord Shiva. So the interesting aspect is actually depicted from Mahabharata, the greater India. It's a war base constituted from the different family clans and versus a single clan called the Kuru dynasty. So it is not something like a history or a mythology or a joke or something like that. It's a true fact. Even in this current trend, if you go to a place called Kurukshetra in the northern part of India, you will see all these things being depicted very nicely. So Vyasadeva actually spoke. Lord Ganesh connected with him and started writing it. But there were two conditions which he put. One is Vyasadeva said, you can write it, but you should not stop it. And Ganesh was agreeing to it. But then Vyasadeva also put another condition saying that if you don't understand what I'm trying to say, let's say, for example, I'm trying to tell a sloka. If you are not able to understand what I'm trying to tell you, then you cannot write it. So that's where you stop it. So as it goes, he was very, very fast. Vyasadeva did not stop. Vyasadeva is a great personality. He is the literary incarnation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And he started saying in a faster manner, who is also the compiler of the four Vedas. And the fifth Veda is what we are talking about, which is the Mahabharata. So when Ganesh started writing it, at one point of time, he lost the pens in thousands, because the speed in which you can practically see in the olden days, they used to use palm leaves for writing. So he was trying to use a kind of a pen which is made up of the quill of a peacock feather. So he was using that and he was trying to scribe and it was breaking. So finally what he had to do is he broke a part of his tumulane, that is his tusk, and he started using that as a pen. And so he continued it. So it's just a depiction of that. And then here we are with a very important question. For those who have already got Bhagavad Gita, I'm sure that you also have this question up and running in your minds. But that's for the best of all our interest, that why is Bhagavad Gita being focused, understood, and read many, many times by different people across the entire globes. It's translated, Prabhupada's Bhagavad Gita as it is translated in more than 87 languages, and it's been explained in more than uh, many universities. It's considered a book on the referential platform, and there are more than around 300 million copies of Bhagavad Gita being distributed every year, a whole lot at this point till date. That's what I meant. Okay, so that's the presentation of why the Bhagavad Gita is and where we stand and how it has been summarized as what Veda constitutes. We will definitely share you the slides, so don't have to make notes if in case you have inclination to make some notes. But if you have not, then this is the way the presentations of a high level of philosophy is concerned. So don't have to worry about it. There are three very important factors which you need to understand it. One is Shrutis, another one is Smritis, and another one is Vedas. Vedas means knowledge. Shruti and Smritis are presentations directly presented by the Lord himself, or it's been referred to from the Lord's. So which constitutes the variants of chandas or vyakaranas or shikshas or vedangas or upavedangas or many of the things. So don't worry too many about these details, because it's very consciously it is very difficult to understand it on a first day one shot, and everything put in one shot, right? Okay, Gita is also called Gita Upanishad because it is explaining the beautiful 700 verses, and it has 18 chapters. 18 chapters is divided into three segments: first segment, second segment, and the third segment. So these segments are going to be discussed a little later and why it has been. But however, in this 18 chapters, we are going to cover each chapter every day, and the 700 slokas, 700 verses are completely congruent to each of the chapters which is being presented. Okay, so this is about the Vedas, essence of the Vedas, the Vedic factors. Bhagavad Gita is Apaurishya, means it's not written by someone human, and it's not come from this plan or this plane, whatever you call the realm of where we live. So that's very essential for all of us to understand how the Vedas, how the Bhagavad Gita is presented. And now we come to a very important point of fundamentally understanding why Bhagavad Gita is glorified. First, it summarizes the Vedas. It summarizes all the different yogas, yoga asanas, and dharanas, and all the different aspects of the yoga systems are called the eightfold mystic yogic ladders. So, which you will understand it a little later, not immediately, as we go into the different chapters. Right? It comes from the Supreme Lord's lotus mouth, because one is spoken by the Lord, another one is glorifying about the Lord. So Bhagavad Gita is spoken by the Lord, so it's coming from the lotus mouth. And Srimad Bhagavatam is a book which is actually a much higher grade information, which is actually at that master's level of spiritual practitioners. It comes as an understanding of about the Lord. So that is why it is called from the Lord's mouth and from about the Lord. And then it's a perfect source, perfect knowledge, coming from the right source, right knowledge. So we have something called ABCD of spiritual knowledge. Fundamentally, what it teaches is this is the book, understanding you are not this body. That's the fundamental base point. What are you then? You are a spirit soul. Then where are we in? What are the different types of systems we are in? Whether you are in the material plane, or you are in the spiritual plane, or in a mental plane, or in a bodily plane. So all these constitutes to many variant factors of the spiritual knowledge which we need to gather and understand. So we don't have to worry about these different scopes, which is going to be covered as the day progresses. I am talking about the 18 days. We are going to touch upon all these subject matters in a different aspect. When it comes to that area, I will touch upon this. So again, this is the different places, different books being same book, different prints, different languages mentioned in different countries across the world. So it's coming from this disciplinic succession, which is key and essential. We will touch upon this subject matter and when we touch upon the chapter 4 of the Bhagavad Gita. Some of those facts which we have already touched upon. So we are actually coming to a subject matter which is very, very crucial, right? For everything, you need a goal. If there is no goal, there is no point in hovering around in different activities or thoughts. All important understanding of any subject matter, you need to have what is it is my takeaway. So here we have 5 major topics which is actually going to be discussed with Bhagavad Gita. I want you all to really make note of it into your system, subsystem, so that you can always remember these facts. Subject matters of Bhagavad Gita is always the same. There is no change to it, and you need to know it, because this is what we are going to actually focus on across the 18 chapters of Bhagavad Gita. Okay, so first subject matter is Ishvara or Supreme God. Second is Jiva, living entities. Third, Prakriti of the material nature. Fourth, time or Kala. Fifth is the activities or related karmas. So this is what it is all about, how it is being essentially presented as the absolute truth. Who am I? I'm a spirit soul, Atma. So that means I'm a Jivatma, means I'm a spirit soul, I'm a living entity. Okay, second, that doesn't mean that you are only living entity. There are many living entities in this world. Okay, that's one. Second one, where am I in? I'm in the material world. Fundamentally, you are in the place where you have got two realms. One is the spiritual realm, Prakriti, and this is called the Prakriti, means the presented material energy is the place where we are in. What am I doing here? You're doing many activities. That's natural for you. That's a part of your karma. How long I'm here? Time knows, God knows. We don't have any clue about it, time immemorially. So that's why it's been conspicuous, the spiritual realm, that there is no time value. Here we are always stick by the times. And is there something beyond our existence? Yes, there is, whom we call it as a supernatural or superior personality, or in many words, we call him as God or Ishvara. Okay, so these are the different presentations of why and how the entire 5 aspects of Bhagavad Gita is covered. Now we are coming to the first chapter and we have not even entered it. Am I going a little fast or are you okay with the speed?
All good for me, Prabhu. I don't know about others.
No, that's fine. I just wanted someone to just give an indicator. Okay, so we are actually touching upon how many chapters of Bhagavad Gita are there? Anyone can answer? Is there a way by which I can do it? Oh, that's good. Someone said 18. That's brilliant. Yes, we are got 18 chapters. And how many shlokas or verses?